Hello, good afternoon to wherever you are in the world. We're coming to you live from the Lee Valley Slalom Whitewater Centre. And this afternoon, a little bit of a treat. It's the Extreme Canoe Slalom World Cup 1 of the 2019 season. And a load of athletes have been down, seeded once at a time to find out where they're going to be placed in races. It's head-to-head racing. The conditions, cloudy, well, the cloud cover's coming in quite a lot. Good English temperature, 18 degrees. The wind has been around, but hopefully hasn't been a bit of an issue. And what we're going to do over the next hour or so is we're going to talk you through the action that you can see on your screens. Slalom Extreme. Contact allowed, violence certainly not. Come over the end with a smile on your face. But believe me, I'm covering this a few years. There's a lot of very, very ambitious athletes out there. These are not two of them, by the way. I'm talking you through it this afternoon. And I have Savannah Nada Humphries. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Now, you're been on the water a few minutes ago. What were your impressions of the water?
Oh, well, I found it quite scary and difficult because the water is definitely quite big.
Yes?
Yeah.
So you had to go and do a forerunner, so you showed the athletes what can be done.
Yes, yeah. I found it quite difficult because some of the activities you have to do during the course can be quite difficult.
And so you have to do an Eskimo turn.
Yes.
And then you have to go certain things. Well, anyway, we'll look what they're doing now. On the quarterfinal of the women, we've got Gabby Rich, who has been commentating with me this morning, Emily Buchanan, both from Great Britain. Then the Czechs we're going to see in quarterfinal 2. And then we move on to USA, Russia, and GB USA. So you're not doing this because you're not old enough, are you?
No. You have to be 15 years old, I think, to qualify, but I'm only 13 years old.
But you're good enough?
Yes.
Well, that's a rule that we're going to have to write to someone and get that one changed quickly enough. There's Tren with his boy. He travels all around the world with him, and Tren obviously is a mixed martial arts champion, so you don't ever take him on, but he's a fascinating character and a very powerful athlete. So here we have Emily Buchanan against Gabriella Ridge. We'll have to actually watch the action in front of us. Not exactly sure how it's going to come out today. All we do know is that so far the organisation of this World Cup regatta has been absolutely first class. You're famous, hey! A lot of people from all over the continent, Wales, England, all sorts of different countries. There's Emily. Do you know Emily?
Yes, I do.
So is Emily, what's her style?
She's very aggressive. She's very fast. Yeah, I think it'll be a very tight competition between Emily and Gabby because they're both very aggressive, yeah.
And there's Gabby, who is looking in the zone. Hello, tentatively, two against each other. And so they're off quite a high ramp. Is it quite scary?
Yes, very, very scary.
So there's no one holding you back. You have to support yourself. So blue against yellow. Now let's go down the course. These athletes clearly know the water flows very, very well because they train here day in, day out. So your options are you take whichever side you want to go.
Yes. I would probably recommend going the way that Gabby did because it just gets a faster line in because that's the way the flow's going.
Okay. So they have to go to we see the big floating buoys. They have to directional, so we know which way they need to go around.
Yes. They do have arrows.
This is the course, and so the ups, you have a choice which is different to slalom. It looks like Gabby's fallen a bit off the back of the eddy there, and then we're coming through. So far it looks like Emily has a distinct advantage, but the fun's going to start in a minute. They have to do an Eskimo turn.
Yes, between about now, yeah.
Did you close your eyes or you keep your eyes open?
I actually didn't end up doing the roll because I forgot.
Oh,
but
that's right.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh, it's not a bad idea to forget. I think I'd forget as well.
Well, I remembered, but it was a bit too late then.
Not to worry.
Yeah.
But because the water's chlorinated, isn't it? So it's a bit like a
Yeah.
cold swimming pool.
Yeah. In fact, it wasn't too cold today. No, it wasn't too cold.
That's the problem is the Brits are so tough that nothing is too nothing too cold. Anyway, it looks like she's coming through, taking a bit of a battering there. So Gabby in the yellow takes the victory. With the first round, it's a bit of fun. A lot of the athletes are K1 paddlers, and because it's such a big year this year, they possibly don't want to risk having injury.
Yes, yes.
So that's why a lot of household names, unfortunately, we won't be able to see them.
Yeah, a lot of the extreme slalom paddlers are also slalom paddlers like Gabby and Emily, the other Emily, which you'll see later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they come off to a really good start, and like you said, Gabby in the yellow, I think she looked to take the best option. So you always all like one big family here, isn't it? You all know each other.
Yeah. Most people do know each other. I guess you just tend to be around each other every weekend. So.
And what was it like the first time you came here?
The first time I came here was about 2 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
It wasn't the greatest experience because I went over in every single last stopper there was.
At least you decided to learn the course from upside down.
Yeah, that was okay.
Okay. So the drama is going to start. If you win your heat, then it means at least that you can choose where you're going to be for the actual the main run. So we have quarterfinal heats, semi-final. Now we have Emilia Hilgetova, who did really well earlier in the K1. She's a bit of a famous fighter in this sport, winning many events. And also we have Aluso Minazova. So they have their game faces on. What's going through their mind at the beginning? Help.
I'm not quite sure because I probably wasn't quite as confident as them, but certainly when I was at that on the top of that ramp, I was shaking, thinking about what could happen, all the possibilities.
And what's the action here? You go forward, and just as soon as you hit the water, you're paddling away.
But most people lean back because otherwise they'll end up penciling in and kind of landing face first. Which
I remember seeing that in Tatson once, which was quite a challenge. So far, it is Alzu, who's actually leading Amelia. But I'd say Amalia is going to come back. Look there already. She's showing that this is a dynamic spirit. Is the water quite difficult to negotiate in these creek boats?
It's not too bad, but as long as you get the right lines into the eddies and throughout the waves, I'm sure it wouldn't be too bad.
But there's plenty of volume in the boat, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a lot different to a slalom boat because it's so much heavier.
But you're taking the same, I suppose, the same water dynamics work. So you're taking the same lines.
Yes.
Well, Emilia Hilgetova has successfully, both of them, chosen the river left. It's great to have a choice, isn't it, really? I suppose it's more fun to watch when there's going to be 4 athletes coming down.
Yes.
So the course is full of an extreme slalom. It's a very long course. We've seen some a lot shorter. Here they're doing the whole 250 metres, aren't they? It's the same. Except Amelia had an incorrect Eskimo turn. They're not disqualifying people. They're just saying, well, there's not that many people in the competition, so we're just going to put you through. So she'll go through as the second one.
Oh, okay.
Because what we had a situation, it's still a great sport, but how can I put it this way? There's Olympic dreams of this sport for Paris in 5 years' time. So that could be you.
Hopefully, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
So that's something. So the idea is, watch this space, and hopefully it'll be in there.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be old enough by the time in 5 years for Paris.
Well, perfect. Well, you've come to a great start on the best water course in the world to learn it. Because when they first started, the boys used to turn around so you didn't know which side.
Yes.
But now it's for TV. Every year they're making it much more appealing.
Yes.
And we just need to work out the timings so the top athletes are able to compete. The challenge also is because there's a World Cup in Bratislava next week and there's a World Cup afterwards in Tatson in 2 weeks' time. even if the athletes wanted to, I think the sensible thing for the coaching would be no, don't risk it, because there is a possibility that you could put a shoulder out or something.
Yeah, yeah. The water is quite dangerous if you don't use it correctly.
What do you most like about this sport?
I don't know. I just think that I don't find it too pressurizing because
You have a sort of freedom on the water.
yeah,
Do you?
yeah. It's not as hard as like slalom because there's not exactly a exact thing you have to do. There's no exact like course. Obviously there is a course, but there's no
discipline every few meters. Paulina Mogaliva, well-respected athlete. Let's see how she's going to go today. 27 years old. And then next to her we have one of the great fighters, lovely Ashley Nee, the USA. There's an assassin's smile. She's don't be fooled into thinking she's just going out for a bit of fun. And Ashley clearly used to creek baiting. That hopefully for her will come into advantage. So for you, just coming into this sport, is it quite fun to meet the big names out there?
Yeah. It's really exciting actually because this weekend I've been able to even see in person like a few of the slalom World Cup athletes as well, like Jessica Fox. And
Wow.
It's just amazing.
Ashley so far has taken the initiative. Coming around the corner, as you can see, the boys are very well stabilised. There's some sort of structure above them, so they're not hanging like a boxing bag. They're actually in some sort of H system, which is improving massively over time. So it's quite rigid. Although they filled with air, they say it's not going to hurt you. So it could be quite close moving into the section. How can you forget to do an Eskimo roll?
Well, I was a bit worried. I don't know why, because there was a lot of people watching, and I was kind of looking at them, and then it got to the point where I was
Too
just
late.
above. Yeah,
Okay.
I was just above the drop, and I got a bit scared, and I didn't really want to do it just above because I didn't really want to get stuck because oval is a very sticky wave.
And this is where gates 20 and 21 are, if you've been watching the slalom earlier. So they're coming down nicely. It is really close. So who's going to have the best line? So Paulina and Ashley are neck and neck. It looks like Ashley Nee's taking a bit of advantage. Yep. So for the breathing, is it exhausting?
I think extreme slalom's more about the fighting rather than the sprinting, so it becomes a lot. I don't know, about a bit easier on the
cardio.
Yeah.
It's just a case of negating yourself in the right position.
Yeah, and you really need to want it to get what you want.
You have to
And
be
you need to be-
determined, okay?
You need to be aggressive. I learned this when I was at the at Cardiff Whitewater Centre.
Yes.
I wasn't very aggressive. I was quite soft, and that doesn't get you anywhere in extreme slalom. You need to be aggressive. You don't need to be violent, just aggressive.
Talking about both those qualities is wonderful Sage Donnelly, who I saw her a few minutes ago, and you had to look twice because she's got a wonderful stars and stripes painted across her face. There you go. Good on you, Sage. She's so up for it. She's just come across. She's been a sort of massive champion in creek baits, and then she came across to slalom a couple of years ago, and still on a big learning curve. And Emily Davis, you know Emily?
Yes, I do know Emily.
How will she be feeling?
I'm not quite sure. She's probably quite stressed out, but I'm sure she'll get through it. Emily is very fast and aggressive.
But Sage normally takes it to another level. She comes away cut
Yeah.
and bruised quite often, but very rarely loses. So far in the yellow, it is very much Emily Davis who's taking it out.
Yeah,
It's a long race.
Emily is also a slalom paddler, but she is actually a C1 paddler.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is quite different for her maybe because you have two blades of a paddle.
No, you have to go back, unfortunately, Emily. They don't say you disqualified now, you say you've not completed. I think something like NCA now. It's trying to be a more genteel way of saying it. But it looks like Sage has a big advantage now. All she has to do is manage the course. And this is really tiny water for her. So these boats, do you know how much they weigh? Or they're quite heavy?
Oh, they're very heavy. I can't carry my own. I've got a Piranha Ripper. Actually, I'm borrowing it, but my dad has to carry it for me because it's way too heavy.
Well done, Dad. He's sitting next to us today thinking yes. So has Sage missed it? Just to go back maybe. We'll see how that comes out. Okay, so that's a good victory. So providing just being disqualified, Sage will go through. So if you're sitting at home, I think you'll have understood the rules. This is the first bit where there's only 2 against 2. However, when there's more numbers, for example with the men, it's a lot more dynamic. So we have 4 against 4, and this is where it really does, aggressivity I think comes into it. Sage from Emily. Dreaming of the future, what can become. They're very keen on health and safety, so there's walls around every gate. Here we go, we're looking at the start list for the semi-final one. Gabriella, Amelia, Alsu and Emily. So it's taken from the top half of the draw. A bit like tennis in a way. Then the semi one is Emily, Ashley, Paulina and Sage. GBR, 2 from the USA and Russia. Then after that we're going to move on to the men's racing. So it's about a 3-meter drop. And then you have to really have the momentum after that, then you've got to put you can't go down just with the weight of the water, you really have to put a lot of force in.
Yeah.
So when you're paddling here, you're sitting down in the boat.
Yes.
And you have the old straps on, so the water's not going to come in. You have the skirt.
Yeah, it's called a spray deck.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And then after that, your paddles, what are they made of? They're made of carbon nowadays?
You can have them made from plastic and carbon. And yeah, that's like the main ones. I haven't really seen any other types of paddles.
And the boats are made of quite hard plastic.
Yes.
So anyone can go in these. They're not, whereas the slalom boats are quite specific, aren't they? They're delicate.
Yeah.
Anyone can go. But some of the athletes have their own creek boats, don't they?
Yes.
So the boys are going to go in a minute. They've been. Well, they do it for fun, but because it has these Olympic aspirations, at the same time, there's McGregor. I was watching them in the pools, and they look absolutely exhausted, the poor things. They have to go around for a few days entertaining people, and because we had so many kids here, I think it's been well appreciated. Typical English weather, I'd say.
Yeah.
So this morning we had some really exciting slalom racing. A few of the athletes have decided to come in here, and let's see what we have now. First lot are going to give us the names. Well, 3 of them are lined up. Let's see who's going to be there. Etienne Chappell, Tren Long, Frederick Wallen, Jonathan Aganyeme. Second one, Vavra Jack, Nikita and Terence, and they'll go through in the semis. So there's going to be, in total, 15 to 16. I know we have a non-starter in the first race, which is supposed to be 4 places. I have to see who's not there. Then Pedro, Gareth, Max, Matt, and finally it's going to be Aaron, Sergey, Ren, and Christian. Frederick Wallen. Well, they need to sort out the graphics, perhaps. There's Tren. No, guys, there's Tren. That's not. You know Etienne?
Yes, I do know Etienne.
So ignore the graphics. Oh yes, they got Etienne right. Well done.
Don't be surprised if Etienne does a kickflip during the middle of the race.
I hear he's quite a lively fellow.
Yeah, very.
So this is battling more to the case. Etienne in yellow, Tren in green, Frederick from Sweden in blue. But so far, Etienne, the youngest, the lightest, is showing them the way. Convincingly, 2 out of 3 will go through to the next round. Trains very seriously for this. He has big ambitions. So that's a real battle. Works in the favour of Etienne. Don't take Tren in a fight. Believe me, it's not a good idea. So it's given Etienne a really good chance to come away.
Yeah.
Here we go. Up he goes. Tren's missed gate number 2. So they have a choice whether they're going to go both ways round. You're not sure. Frederick, if he's put himself out, it's going to be interesting for the clock. There's a real battle there. Anyway, Etienne, tell me something about Etienne. He's a fiery character, I gather.
He's actually a slalom paddler as well. And so far, pretty much all of the GB squad, bar Emily Buhanchin, have been Welsh, actually.
Okay.
Rather than English, yeah.
Sorry, I stand apologise. What a wonderful nation, and that's why I suppose we showed the wonderful dragon earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, good news, yes. So, Dad's just gone off for a beer or something. But he's a bit of a paddler as well, isn't he, your father?
He's not very good, but I mean, he tries to give me coaching sometimes, but he has no clue what he's on about.
The honesty of youth. Anyway, let's so Etienne goes through and Frederick Wallen go through. That was very dynamic. Does he go round? Does he go? See, I think he goes. Is that which gate's that?
I think that's gate.
Is that's
gate
gate 2?
2.
That's the one that they said he missed out on. Vavradilek, Jack Danden, Nikita, and Terence. Let's see how they go. So, Vavradilek is the world champion. Took it out in Po. There's relaxed. You can't much more relaxed than that. Nikita Gubenko from Russia is ready. So quite a few of these are not regulars on the circuit. Jack coming in there, and the famous, almost superstar of this sport, Vavradilek. Does all sorts of things. Has a bar, made a major film a couple of years ago. A lot of flying, pilot by the way. 10 years as a slalom, missed the team a couple of years and is back now, and he's the 2013 world champion in blue. Watch out for Vavra in blue. He's going to certainly take this field apart, I think. It's all about the start. Him and great mate Mike Dawson, who's doing another competition this weekend, really pushed things along. The last World Championship points, never took a medal as well. He's concentrating on the slalom offensively. Well, they've all gone through the first one. Are they always going to choose the same up?
I think it's about even to do either ones, but I guess it's just distinctive to do.
Is
to
it
do
something
that
you
one.
can practice? Do you practice this?
I've never really practiced doing it in creek boat, but I've practiced doing a move close enough to that in a slalom boat.
Nikita missed gate 3, so he's going to be put to the back of the list. It basically means you're disqualified if no one else, if the idea is they have to have 2 people going through. Baba's now sensibly waiting for the mess to get out of the way and come on the outside wing. You have to go around the outside. So looking ominous there, coming through from heat number 2 is Barbara Donnelly taking the first. Jax, did you see who came second?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I think it's Jack. Jack Dangan coming in second. So the idea is to be a bit of camaraderie, but they don't leave anything out there. So Barbara and Jack go through to the semi-finals. And so for those we see it's going to be Etienne Chappell from the UK, Frederick Wallen from Sweden, Barbara Hadileg from the Czech Republic, and Jack Dangan from New Zealand. If you're knocked out, you don't have another chance, unfortunately. So, if you were allowed, would you like to qualify? Would you like to, or are you going to wait a couple of years?
I'm not sure, because I think I was okay doing it, but then when I got here, saw how many people there were,
Okay,
I think it kind of changed the way I saw it.
But now looking back, when you're at home, thinking about it this evening, you probably have a good thought, a proud moment. You want to do it again?
Probably.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure there's a race on tomorrow, but I'm not sure whether I'm allowed to do it yet, and I'm not sure whether I want to do it yet. I think it's going to have to be a bit of thinking.
Pepe Pedro Gonzalez from Brazil has won several events at this level before. We also have Matt McLeod from Great Britain. Do you know Matt?
I think I've heard of him before, but I'm not quite sure.
Max Carlson, Gareth Farrow. Number 2.
Oh, I know Gareth Farrow though. Yeah.
Good applause from the crowd. Pepe. With his mounted camera on the top, so hopefully we'll have some good images coming out on social media. So the key, I suppose, is to just paddle as fast as you can.
Yeah. It's not just paddling as fast as you can, it's also trying to, I don't know, not get in the way, but kind of prevent the other paddlers from getting the right lines without getting into contact or being violent.
Especially when we're seeing on the ups, it's if you're not in the lead, you can sometimes sneak the lead. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Well, I think that's going to make the slow highlight package.
It's not quite the most aggressive I've ever seen. I've actually seen somebody's tooth being knocked out during an extreme slalom race about a year ago.
Oh, that's ridiculous. It's an action sport. Not sure I agree with that. Anyway, not making the rules. So a slight contact and they disqualified him.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad.
No, rubbish.
Because I doing it in the junior women's, I think I've had more contact than that.
Well, I have to have a word with the judges.
I've had somebody on top of my boat whilst I was upside down.
Okay, but we have to stress these are not average public. These are world-class water paddlers who have masses of experience. Well, they've given it to Max Carlson. And well, okay, fine enough. Gareth goes through. So again, you see the action points. It's not even on top of his head. That's fine. Then the Eskimo turn. So coming to you live from Lee Valley, the sun's just come out. Lovely day here. No real rain today so far. Temperature 18, 19 degrees.
Yeah, it's kind of varied a bit. It's gone from quite cloudy to sunny to cloudy to sunny. But I think it's okay now.
And then if you saw that, but collecting the bibs, there's 4 bibs, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have George Florence, who's David Florence's father, who's doing a bit of over-the-top duty, taking a bag, so running up to the start line. Aaron White, Sergei Mamstov, Ren Corpez, Christian Gionga, Italy, who was present yesterday. So lots of Brits in this.
Yeah. I think instead of having 2 entries, we're allowed 3 because it's our home.
Fair point. There's Christian there. Good individual paddler. It's going to be tough to beat. Italy, sole Italian representative. Croatia, Ren Corpez. A few Russians competing today, which is good to see. Sergei Mamstov looking in the zone, ready for action. Great Britain's Aaron White. You always have a bit of noise there. So they're lined up. This is going to be the 4th heat. First 2 will go through as long as there's apparently no contact at all. Good support. Let's go, let's go, let's go. They'll probably have will they have a pre-planned race tactic?
Probably. Before most extreme slaloms I've done, I've seen a lot of people doing like a course walk just to see what lines look the best through the flow of the course.
Makes sense. So they're all in a line now, snaking it through. Are they all going to go? Everyone seems to go for the same size, same side.
It probably would have done if they had gone with a different one.
Ren should have gone the other side because he's wasted a lot of time there. But it looks like Christian Giongi, with the speed the Eskimo turn's done, they throw themselves over it, don't they?
Yeah, they really, I think they do like a back deck roll maybe because it's said to be a bit faster, but it's a bit risky because not everybody can do one.
What is a back deck roll? You lean back.
Yeah, you kind of turn around on the back of your boat. It's quite difficult to describe, but it's definitely a lot faster than a normal roll.
And you can keep yourself shallow.
Yes.
There's no rocks in the bottom of this. It's a man-made course, completed at the end of 2009, and was made for the Olympics in 2012. But of course, they didn't have this discipline. So they're giving Christy Diongi second place there. So we do have the semi-finalists known. Good starting. It's crucial to push yourself off, isn't it? Because it becomes so tight further down. So I'm not sure that Ren went the right way there. He should have perhaps gone the other side, left the battle out.
Yeah, I think it would have done with some of them going the opposite side, and it would have like kind of made I don't know, it might have given them a bit more of a fair chance to get their way up there.
Well, there's no appeals in this business. Once a decision's been made, I suppose it helps the spectator to understand. Individual judge said, right, that's what I'm going to do, and then it's just too bad. You just have to take it on the chin and move on. So a lot of athletes, half the athletes so far have to go home now. So all sorts of things did not start, not completed, disqualified. But we do have the semi-final 1, and this is semi-final 2. Gareth, Sergey, Max, and Christian. They'll be competing. So we're going women, men, women, men.
Yeah.
Do they ever race together?
I have actually raced against no, it tends to be boys, because there tends to be enough people in normal races with the adult men and the adult women, but there never tend to be enough for the juniors.
Okay.
So the juniors just all tend to kind of come together. But this season, they've done it separately, but then there wasn't always that many people, so it was like only 3 people the whole time, so we only had to do one final.
Okay. So Gabriela Ridge, Amelia Hilgetova, Alsu Minazova, and Emily Buchanan. 2 Brits. Emily Buchanan in the blue boat. She's not playing to the cameras. She's in her zone, isn't she?
Yeah, she's very focused.
There's Alzu from Russia. Amelia looking again in the zone. Gabby again in the zone, in yellow. So it's starting to help. Ideally we'd have 4 different coloured boats, I'd say.
Yeah.
But they're working towards it. Some of them have their own boats, some don't. Good start in the orange. But on the right hand of your screen, it does look like Gabby Ridge from Wales, England of course, has a great start. Amelia's taking it on. Gabby, a bit of a problem. Push it out. So Amelia Hilgetova, maybe the favourite. But it's all chaos up there. Really struggling. Emily was really struggling in her blue boat to go around. But Amelia is really pulling away from the field. Needs to do her Eskimo turn. $18 cubic meters of water, 18 going down every second in this man-made course. So water pumped in here, a bit of chlorine to make sure it's safe and clean. And there's 5 huge great motors available. Okay, so challenge for Emily Buchanan. No doubt about who comes through first of all. Amelia Hilgetova. One of the nieces of Stepanka, who's one of the greatest athletes ever in this sport. Awesome, so Sweden 3. Sergei looking calm in 2. Gareth probably going to get the biggest chair. There we go. Fame and fortune awaits. 2 will go through to the final. They've already run off in individual time trials earlier today, and then they go and then they go and battle it out now. Who's going to be the first to show? Looks like number 4, Christian Diongue from Italy, has the raw power. But at the same time, Gareth, number 1 in the blue boat, also looks down to be. I think Christian's taken a good line. He's maybe gone a bit further, but seems to have done well.
Sometimes if you catch the curl of the wave, it shoots you across towards the gate.
Is he going to wait? Yeah, that's quite clever. So wait until the rabble come by and then just move out of the way. So Christian Diongue. He's going to have to do his Eskimo turn. There's another, that's the quickest turn we've seen.
Yeah.
That is flew through there, didn't he? Great to see a slow-mo of that. Diongue, is he going to, does he have time? Yes, I think he does. He has time to come out. Max Carlsen missed gate number 4, apparently. No doubt about the winner. Really impressive. Quickest Eskimo turn we've ever seen, I think. Who are they going to give number 2? Sergei has come through for Russia. So we do have our 4 finalists. Etienne Chapel from Great Britain, Barbara Hudilek, Sergei Mamnistov and Christian Diongue. So it's a great international field here. So we're waiting on, just need to change the bibs, refocus. Then we're going to have the first final of the afternoon to see as our first ever London World Cup Lee Valley World Cup champion, keeping it going throughout the season. So Ashley, Emilia. Paulina, who's looked discreet and impressive so far. Alzu Minazova. Two Russians easy to spot in the red orange boats. Amalia Hugitova. She's looking dangerous and has won on many occasions before. And Ashley Nee, they're all in orange boats. It's going to be a bit confusing. Finals time, and it is London Women's Extreme Canoe Slalom 2019. 4 athletes, quite a lot of wind. Who's going to go forward? Crucially, we've seen the start. Where they're all in a complete line, aren't they? Number 1, which is Ashley, seems to have had the powerful start. Ahead of in lane number 3 is Alzu. But Alzu's taking it on now. So Russia leading from the USA. Russia leading from the Czech Republic as Emilia comes through. There's a bit of a battle at the top that maybe will sort out our first positions. Who's going to miss out on a medal? 1 silver and gold to go. So first of all, tracking. No, that may be coming through. That was amazing. If she actually counts it and come through, that's Polina from Russia. Hopefully it counts for her. But no doubt about who's pulling away from the field. It's very much a case of Alzu. Minazova from Russia. Looks like she's going to go home and take the victory. Could this be the first World Cup winner? I think we have one. Yay! Alzu Minazova from Russia takes the victory. Who's going to be coming second? Oops, takes out the bollard. Can hurt. It's quite solid plastic, isn't it, these?
Yeah.
The supports, they're bolted to the side, I understand. So we have our first winner. If you just joined us, this is Extreme Canoe Slalom World Cup in London. Started out with a modest 8 athletes in the women, and the winner is from Russia. Second from Russia. Well done, Russia. USA, Czech Republic. Are we going to see Alzu have a little interview in a minute? It's desperately confusing if they all have the same colour baits.
Yeah, I think they all have the same type of boat. I think they all have a ripper as well. Yeah, because rippers tend to be the fastest boats because they're very solid and the front's quite big, so you can drive straight through the middle of a stopper. But then the back's quite quick and easy to turn, so you can get around those poles quite quickly.
So it's almost like a half slalom bait.
A bit like one, but just kind of not quite.
More muscly,
yeah.
more solid. So it won't break off if you...
yeah.
Father's nodding in agreement there, which is good to see. So I think it's going to here from Alzu. Hopefully she's recovered, not swallowed too much water. Although if she has, it's not a problem because it's chlorinated. And because it's been quite cool here, hasn't been too much vegetation growing up.
Well, congratulations, World Cup gold. How do you feel?
I'm so happy. It was funny, really. It was good.
Was it cold?
No, it's not cold.
Well done, congratulations.
Thank you.
No, that's the thing is, canoe slalom athletes are as tough as they get. So unless you have to take the ice off, it's not cold. So we have the men's. Let's go on to the women's now. We'll have the medal ceremonies after this. The wind is quite strong. Do you think the wind is affecting them or not?
I don't think it'll affect them too much because the gates probably won't swing because they're quite.
They're really impressive. As a
They're
couple
quite
of years
secure,
ago,
so.
they are, aren't they? They're weighted down. Are they quite heavy if you bang into them?
Not really. I rubbed against one and it didn't really. It moved a little bit, but
Right.
it doesn't move too much. So it's just good enough.
Does the job well. Etienne Chapel, Vavra Hradilek, Sergei Mamstov and Christian Diongi. Vavra Hradilek, number 2 in the blue bait. Keep an eye on the blue bait. I think he's the pre-event favourite, the reigning world champion. That's not Christian Diongi. Yeah, Sergei. And there's Christian. And there's Etienne, his yellow bait, number 1. Enjoying the moment, I suspect. Favre off to a cracking start in blue on the lane left. However, Etienne Chappell, who's been leading the 3 races so far he's competed in, has really used his lightweight and power to pull ahead of the field. It's about taking the angle. First is a green, which means downstream. There they go, great filming. So far it's Etienne for the UK. Christian de Jong has just moved out of the Vavre from 2nd place. Etienne needs to make sure he plans it here, because Vavre's going to not help him. No. Oh, that's good filming. Well done, Vavre, coming out of it. But moving through, look at the crowd running down with Etienne. It's his to lose. If you can just time the Eskimo turn. There's the back turn, as you say. Christian de Jong with his amazing flying turn. This is where you win or lose it. Vavre has to take him out. No, he's Eskimo. No, it's all over for Vavre, but it looks like Etienne's going to do well. Christian de Jong is really trying to fight out. Yes, we have a Brit who's won it. That's a success. So we have a star of the future. Milking the applause of the crowd. So the first London World Cup winner is Etienne Chappell, Christian de Jong, Sergei Mamestov and Vavre Khadilek. Honourable field there. So you see a few sleigh mays of the action. So this is your first time commentating, Sana. Do you enjoy it?
Yes, it was fun. A new experience, I guess.
Exactly. So you're a forerunner on the water, which is great to see. So you've experienced what they've had, and now you can go and your father's going to go and celebrate. Okay. Well, they're trying to. The few friends have jumped in the water with him. We're not showing the pictures on the why. But they need to come out and be interviewed by the. They're going to come and interviewed by Ross and his team. So the crowd talking about, there's Pepe telling him what happened, why he was disqualified, we don't know. But it looks like let's see what he says.
Etienne, mate, gold medal in front of your home crowd. How's that feel?
I don't even know. It's next level. My heart is. I don't know if it's the Red Bull or the power, or the excitement. This is next level. I could.
Is it something special to win at home?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's not my main sport, slalom, but this sport is insane. I can't fault it. I just can't believe it, man. That's just not happening.
Tell me about the race. I mean, do you have a tactic, or do you just get in the water and go like the clappers?
It is pretty much that, just off the start, as fast as you can. Apart from that, you just gotta play it by ear. Like, you gotta look where the other paddlers are, and just hopefully hit the gaps that they're not in. And luckily I came out on top, so it was alright.
And you must have heard the crowd. They were so...
They pulled me along a lot, not gonna lie. Thanks a lot, guys. But oh my god, I can't believe it, man. I got a medal last night.
Well, you enjoy it, mate. Go and say thank you to the crowd, and we'll see you at the next one.
Cheers, man. Thanks a lot. See you soon.
That's what you want, a bit of emotion.
Yeah.
So the happiest chap on the planet at the moment is Etienne Chappell. Well done for you. Well done. So thank you so much for coming in. We'll follow your career,
It's okay.
and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.
Okay.
So we're just about to wrap up the activity today. I hope you've had a lot of pleasure. Maybe if you've had as much pleasure as Etienne, there's well, it's going to be a lot of fun here. Absolutely delighted. So the crowd slowly making their way out of Lee Valley. Really well organised facility. Thank you everybody for watching. Follow us at Planet Canoe, social media. Really keen to have your feedback, how we can always improve things, and we look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Thank you.